Hey y'all, welcome back to my channel. If you're new here, my name is Niara Alexis, and like the title says, today we're going to be doing our makeup today. I'm going to be sharing with you some new products that I have. Some are truly new, some are new that I used to use and now I'm using again. And I'm going to be doing a little story time with you. So if you're interested, then just keep watching. All the products I use today, I'll have them linked down below for you guys so that you can shop them if you would like. So let's get into it. But I'm just gonna start off with a little bit of a mist. My face has been feeling really dry lately. We moved to Grand Rapids, Michigan. I was there until I was in 6th grade. And then we moved to Detroit, which is where Storytime is gonna start, okay? Detroit has a special place in my heart. I love it. It's where I met my now boyfriend. I also like to credit Detroit with like the place where I like got some of my street smarts, and I still don't have all of them. I will be 100% honest. Like I like got some grit about myself in Detroit. Like before I moved to Detroit, I was a very suburban girly, okay? That foundation that I just used is the L'Oreal True Match foundation in the shade N9, and they added a pump to it, y'all. The reason why I say Detroit like gave me some grit was because like so much happened in Detroit. I'm gonna tell y'all about the 2 times that we were like robbed. Actually no, 3 times we were robbed in Detroit. And I'm not saying this to like give Detroit a bad name, because like this can happen anywhere. The concealer I'm about to use is the Maybelline Instant Age Rewind. So they have a brightener. This is pink. I've never used this before. So I'm gonna use that underneath my concealer. And then I have the shade 144. This looks light, but this is the only concealer I'm gonna use. I'll tell you about the time they tried to steal my mama's tires off her car. We were at Somerset Mall. It was like around Christmas time. It was me, my 2 brothers, my mom and dad. And so we were in the car, or we were at the mall, and my brother was trying to get like a gaming system. It might have been like a PlayStation, an Xbox or something. And like the store that we were at, there was like a GameStop in the mall, didn't have it. So Oakland Mall is like not far. That brightening stuff, it's very white. So my dad was like, okay, y'all stay here. I'm gonna go take him, one of my brothers, over to the other mall, and we'll go and we'll get it and we'll come back or whatever, right? We get back in the car, and while we're driving home, why did I say it like that? Home sounded very Trina Braxton. Y'all know how Trina always be like, hey, you know how she talks? It's hilarious. We're driving home and we hear like this like weird noise. And my mom had a Lexus. So like the way that her tires were, like I feel like everything on a Lexus, like as far as like parts wise, was like very like, you had to have a lock to get this off and that off or whatever. And so like the tires that she had like had locks on them. Like you couldn't just like take it off. You had to have like a special tool or whatever to be able to take the lock off and then whatever. The car is sounding weird on the way home. And also, mind you, my daddy, when he drives, my daddy is like a bat out of hell. Like my daddy be driving. That one person that you see drive by and you be like, that's my daddy, that's James. He be driving so fast. And my mom, we were on the highway, me and my brother's in the back seat, and my mom was like, James, slow down, because the car sounds weird. We could all hear it, and we're all kind of just like, Instant Age Rewind, you gotta click that thing for a minute to get it to come out. My mom was like she loved her car. She liked, won't say she babied her car, but she really loved that car. And so she was like, no, we are going to the dealership tomorrow because something is wrong with my car and we're about to figure it out. I don't know what it is. She goes to the dealership, takes her car in there. Y'all, why did they say that her tires, they were like, if you kept driving like this, your tires were just gonna fall off. Like your tires were this close to just like flying off of the car. Somebody had tried to steal our tires, or the tires on her car, while we was at one of the malls, either Somerset or Oakland, when my dad took my brother over there. But either way, somebody had tried to get my mama for her tires, because she did have like nice rims on her car or whatever. Like I said, my mama really loved her car. I would say at times she liked her car better than me. And my mama came home and she was so mad at my dad. She was like, I told you there was something wrong with the car, and you were over here speeding, zipping and zooming down 75, and the tire could have fell off the car and we would have all been dead. So that's the time they tried to steal the tires. So let's keep it going. I'm getting up. We're getting ready to go to school, right? My mom and daddy is up and they're like upstairs. I'm in the kitchen with Bentley. That's my dog. Rest in peace, Bentley. It's wintertime, and you know how your parents like to go like warm up the car before, you know, y'all actually leave. And I'm in the kitchen, and the way our kitchen was, it faced like the side where the driveway was and the back of the house. And the way our driveway was, it went all the way into the backyard. And I'm standing at the sink, and the way the sink was, there was a window that looked out into the driveway. So I could see out into the driveway, I could see the cars and everything. And our side door was on that same wall. Y'all, tell me why I'm sitting there with Bentley. I'm reading my Harry Potter book. I remember that because I could only read my Harry Potter books in the daytime because I was scared of the books. Don't ask me why I kept reading them. And I hear crunching noises. That's what I heard first because I was reading. And I hear crunching noises. And I was like, what is that noise? And it sounded like tires driving over snow. It was wintertime. And I was like, I know they didn't leave me, because the way our house was, they would have had to walk right past me out of the side door in order to leave without me. I look out the window and I see the cars rolling by me. Okay, rolling by the window. And I was like, I know they didn't leave me. I went around the corner to the side door. I looked out the side door. They're steady rolling. And by this time they had gotten to the point where they're like past the door, but I look out the door and I see them, they're just going on out. And at a certain point they speed up. Our driveway was kind of long. They sped up and would zoom out the driveway. And I was like, oh shit. I remember saying that. And so I scream upstairs to my mom. I was like, Ma, they got the cars. They got the cars. And mom was like, what? And I was like, they got your car, girl. Told you, she liked this car better than me sometimes. My dad was not moving. And you know how I knew my dad wasn't moving? My dad is a big man. He's a healthy man. You could hear when my daddy was moving around. I heard my mama moving. James wasn't making a sound because he thinking like they just stole her car. Okay, whatever, we just gonna have to file a claim, whatever, blah, blah. In my head, I'm thinking, why you not moving? N-word, like what's happening? Then I was like, and they got your car too, daddy. Then I hear do. Like I hear my dad, because my dad has really big feet. I hear his footsteps, he moving. My dad worked for the city. He worked for the city of Detroit. Well, at that time, he actually worked for the county. He worked for Wayne County. But he did used to work for the city. So my dad, his truck was like a official car, like a city car, a county car, always like his truck. He's worried because like now they got his county truck. My mama's traumatized because they have her most beloved Lexus. And I'm just sitting here like, what in the hell? So we had another car in the back. It was a third car. It was not warming up or anything. It was in the back. So my daddy goes, he gets the keys to that car. He tells me, mama, to stay in the house, lock the doors, whatever, blah, blah. He goes out, gets in that car, ride around. I'm just sitting there in the kitchen with Bentley. I'm like, damn, Bentley, they didn't got us. They didn't got us for our cars. And I don't know if I like how that made my under eye look. Like here, it looks like a little blotchy, like a little, Does it look blotchy to y'all? They find the cars just parked randomly in front of some other house. The keys are gone. All of the house keys were on that key ring, like both of the key rings that they took. Mom was like, we're not leaving this house today until we get the locks changed, because they can easily come back to this house and open the door and get inside. So we stayed. I got to stay home from school that day. I think they got nervous because my dad's car was like a city car or whatever, or a county car, I don't know, but it was like, people growing up used to think that my dad was like the police or like the FBI or something, because his license plates always had an X in them. And then I remember my mama saying, did you say something? I was like, girl, no, I wasn't about to say anything. So they can look back and say, oh, it's a witness. Absolutely not. I didn't. And then I had another story. Oh, okay. So at that same house, they also stole all of our TVs. Okay. So like this is after my parents had like separated, so it was just like me and my dad at the house at this point. We are out and about. When I say we, I mean me and Bentley. That was my little road dog. Rest in peace, Bentley. I can't believe my baby gone. Anyways, That was my little road dog. Like, me and Bentley went everywhere in the summertime. Like, especially when I had my license, like, me and Bentley were out of there. He wasn't like a walking dog. He didn't like going for walks. But we was going to Target, scooped him up, put him in the little Louis Neverfull, and we were out of there. Like, that was my little ride or die. So me and Bentley were going out the house. I can't remember where we went. I don't know if it was my fault. I'm gonna say I might have had a part to play in this, but I don't know. Because I know I locked the door, and we had like one of those like deadbolt locks on the side door, where you had to like, it was like really hard to lock or whatever. So I don't know if it was my fault. If my daddy's watching this, he probably like, yeah, it was your fault. I got a call from my daddy, like basically cussing me out. This was not unusual for James, because it was a very angsty time. So my parents was going through like their separation or whatever. My dad calls me and he's like, Niara, where are you? And I was like, we're at Target. I remember we had went to Target, me and Bentley. I was like, we went to Target. It's crazy because I used to say we, and my parents always knew me and Bentley. Like, if I said we, it wasn't me and nobody else. It was me and the dog. He was like, Niara, bring your ass back to this house right now. What did I do? What did I do now? Because at that time, it felt like everything was my fault. Like, if you're a kid that's going through divorce, you feel like everything that's happening during like that most tumultuous time is your fault. At this time, I had moved up to the attic because I was like, I don't want to be by nobody. So I moved up to the attic. There was a TV up in the attic. It was gone. There was a TV in what used to be my parents' rooms, not my daddy's room. Gone. And then I think there was a TV down like in the living room, and these are like the flat screen TVs. Gone. All the TVs was gone. They stole all of the TVs, and I was like, well, I don't know what you want me to do about it, because I'm just walking around here with my dog trying to be a Black Paris Hilton. Like, I cannot help you in this quest, sir. Can you just let me know when we get a new one, because The Hills is coming on tonight. That's really all I was concerned about. And he was like, Niara, did you lock the door? And I was like, yeah, I locked the door. And you know what? I am certain that I locked that door. I'm just gonna say that now. I am certain that I locked that door. I don't know how those people got in our house to steal all the TVs, but I'm certain that I locked the door. And you know, I'm not gonna cop to that. I will never cop to that and say it was my fault that they stole all the TVs, because I don't think it is. I did just get a new blush from Maybelline. It's their Fit Me blush. I've never tried them, but I always see them in a store and think that they're so cute, just looking at them. And the shade I got is 55. It says Berry. This is not every other blush color I've ever showed y'all. I have a type when it comes to blushes. Let me tell you about some of like my traveling stories. Let me tell you about the time I went to China. So me and my best friend Des, same one who I went to Miami with Tanisha, we met because we worked at Groupon together. Funny story, Des did not want to be my friend at first. Now, we worked at Groupon, and Groupon has like trip deals. Like, this is when I was like 24, 25. She was like, Niara, there's this trip for like $600 to China. And I was like, do you want to go to China? And she's like, I mean, yeah, I ain't never been. I'm like, okay. So we decided, let's go to China. I think I'm gonna stick with this one palette. It looks like this. This one is called Champagne Problems. I feel like I've used this one before. And we were going to like multiple cities in China. Don't ask me what cities we went to, because I have no idea. No idea. All I know is we were over there hopping from city to city. We were flying from city to city, and like we were like excursioning around China. I don't even know if that's a word, but we were doing our thing around China. The whole time, the trip, like, we were kind of like skeptical. We were like, I don't know, like we bought this trip for $600, like hoping for the best, right? We get there, hotels are nice. Like, there were some that were like, oh, it's all right. But like, for the most part, the hotels were like 5-star, nice. Like, I was like, okay. Like, we were enjoying it. It was also super, super, super cold. My mama liked to say that we met the Rona before the Rona became the Rona, whatever. But there was a sickness going around on the bus. And I was like, I swear to God, if I get sick. The other thing too is this was not the first trip that me and Des have been on. Me and Des have been on several trips together before this. We have been to Iceland, we have been to Greece, and now we were going to China. Do you hear that, Denise? We're due for another trip. You know how people talk about people going on trips with their friends and like they come back and they don't be friends? That never happened with me and Des, but we do at least one time throughout every trip like get mad at each other for like a day and do not speak to each other, and then we'll be fine. It's coming up on like the last day of the trip, so people are preparing, getting ready to go home. Des is getting sniffly, okay? She's getting sniffly and I see it and I'm like, at this point we're kind of mad at each other, right? So I'm like, this girl done got sick. There were people in the group that were flying out that last day, and there were other people in the group that were like, oh, your flight isn't until the next morning, so we're gonna put you up, the airline is gonna put you up in a hotel for the night for you to stay overnight for your flight the next morning. Okay, cool. Now I'm like, no, I'm ready to go home right now, so don't tell me I'm in that group that gotta stay overnight. We was in the group that gotta stay overnight. Tell me why. We get ready to like, they're like, okay, you need to go meet this bus here and it's gonna take you to your hotel. It's like a little shuttle. It's gonna take you to your hotel, whatever, right? When I tell you this was the raggediest little bus I have ever seen in my life. And the other thing that people don't tell you about China before you get there is that there ain't no black people in China. It was me and Des. We were the black population in China from what I saw. We get on this bus and it's literally full, and the whole bus looks up at us. These two black girls decked out with all this shit. Des is wearing full on Yeezy from head to toe. Like, I got on my Yeezy boots and like these big sunglasses, braids, big coat, like all these bags and like shiny luggages and shit. And they're like looking at us like, who is these two? We did not think that before we left the airport, we need to get something to eat. We need to get food. We need to get dinner, something to eat, because this is the only like Americanized place right now. Like they have places where it's like English up. Outside of that, y'all, like I think we were like in Beijing. It's Chinese everywhere. Like that is China. Like there's no like, oh, here's the American version of the menu. No, it's strictly Chinese. Because if we had, I'd have been like, let that shuttle leave, we will get another one. Let's find some food to take back with us. Mind you, Des is over here sniffly. She got the little sickies. Y'all, we get to the hotel. Another letdown, because it was no more 5-star. 5 stars gone. This was like a maybe solid 3.5, and I was like, once you didn't have 5-star, 5-star, 5-star the whole trip, you like a 3 in a Soulja Boy voice. Yes. So I'm like, oh my God. Smoking is a very big part of the Asian culture. They still, well, when we was there, they still smoke inside. So as soon as we walked in, we could smell the cigarette smoke. And then to add insult to injury, y'all, I started feeling sick. And it literally hit me like out of nowhere, because like when we was on the bus going to the little raggedy hotel, it was like fine. And then like as soon as, I don't know what it was about the hotel, but maybe it was the smoke, but as soon as we got in there, I started I'm like, oh my God. So I'm over here getting the sickies. Des is over here recovering. Y'all, so we start getting hungry. It starts getting dark. It's also cold in the hotel. There's just so many things. And we start getting hungry. So we realize that we don't have any food. And we also realize that the hotel don't have room service. All the hotels we had been to at this point had room service. We like, there ain't no room service. I was like, Des, I don't feel comfortable going out because I can't read anything. We don't have a tour guide with us anymore. We like, let's figure, what snacks do you have? What snacks do you got on you? We literally had like a little like snack bag of chips, like the little like quarter bag of chips, and a sleeve of Oreos. You know how like in gas stations you can get like a little like box of Oreos? It's like just like a sleeve. That's all we had. Meanwhile, I'm sick. Des is recovering, and then I think we had like waters. That's all we had. That's all the food we had. Also, still mad at Des. We're still having our moment. And I remember Des took the food out her bag, and I was like, you're not gonna share? It was such a rough moment in life. Our flight probably wasn't until like the afternoon, maybe like 1 or 2 o'clock in the afternoon. I told Des, I was like, get up. it was like maybe 9 or 10 o'clock in the morning. I was like, we're going to the airport right now. I don't care how early we are for this flight, because I need some tea. I was like, I know they got a Starbucks in this airport. I need some food. Y'all, tell me why we get to the airport. Almost tried to detain me at the airport. Hand to God, they tried to detain me at the airport, y'all. They said that I didn't look like my passport picture. I had braids in my passport picture and I had no makeup on. When I went to the airport, I had no makeup on and I just so happened to have braids again. How do I not? Meanwhile, Des is growing dreads right now out of her head. Her passport picture has a full afro puff on it. Des makes it through in a breeze, and like, I'm already so irritated. I'm mad because I got sick. I'm mad because I'm cold. I'm mad because I'm hungry, so I'm hangry. Like, so many things. And so I started getting an attitude with the man, and Desiree was like, Niara, ooh. Desiree was like, if you don't calm down, we are over here in China and you're trying to get an attitude with this like man. And like, look, their TSA people look they're not even called TSA. Their people in the airport look way more official than ours. Like, they look like the military. She was like, if you don't calm down right now, because like, it was visible. I was like, she was like, stop it, because I'm going home one way or another, whether they let you out of here or not. So, and that was the time me and Des got stranded in China with no food. I got this new lip color from Revlon. It's new to me. I don't think it's a new product. It's the Ultra HD Matte Lip Mousse. And this, okay, there's no shade on here. It's this pinky one. I don't know what color it is. I'll try to find it to link it for y'all. I got it at Walgreens. Oh, it's very pink. Oh, it works well with like a gloss and a brown liner. That's cute. Okay, that's our finished makeup look. That's the end of story time. New makeup. Everything will be linked down below. I think this look came out very pretty, very glam. I'm about to walk over to Whole Foods because I need some stuff to make my cornbread, and I'm about to go just like this, looking glam. Ooh, and the sun is shining. Yeah. So I hope you guys enjoyed that. Thank you guys so much for watching, and I'll see you next time.